Hello crafty friends, this is Rachel, Crafting Mama Bear. Today's video I'm sharing with y'all my September 2025 completed pages. So I completed 35 pages in 30 books. I completed one digital coloring page on my iPad. I had 6 buddy colors, worked in 12 of my untouched books. There are still 18 untouched books in my collection. I purchased 11 books, which brings my total book collection to 106, and my total pages that I've colored so far in 2025 is 300. Alrighty, so let's, okay, whoops. Alright, so my first page is my digital, and, whoops, sorry, let me take out all the extra lines. Okay, so I completed this bell page in Petite Poupée color by number. And this was, I really enjoy doing it on the iPad because it's so much easier to fix mistakes, and again, you can like zoom in and yeah, I just think it's fun and easy. And I'm working, what is going on? There, I'm working on this one, which is a Mulan one. And in my digital books, I like to go through with my black outline first. On my physical books, I wait to do the black last because I inevitably always go over the black and ruin it, and then I have to touch it up. But yes, so there's that. That was the only page that I did in my tablet this month. Alrighty, we're just going to start from the smallest and work our way to the bigger books. I completed this page in Small Victories by Johanna Basford. The black background is acrylic paint marker. The gold stars are from my languo gel pen. The white is just a white acrylic pen. And the colored pencils are my Brute Funers. And I thought it turned out pretty cool for my first Space Timber page. Next up is from Disney Portraits. I really enjoyed this book, and I'm surprised I only did one this month. Alright, and I did Cusco from Emperor's New Groove. This was one of the prompts for the Disney group Buddy Color that I'm a part of. Our 2 movies for September were Emperor's New Groove and WALL-E. So this was my Emperor's New Groove page. Next is in my Stress Relief Color by Line Mandala Patterns, and I did this one. This is, I'm pretty sure, okay, yeah, I used alcohol marker. I think I was just using up some of my old Bic and Sharpie and some other brand. Oh, the Pen and Gear. So just played around with that. Next up is Asleep by R.J. Hampton. This is a buddy color book with Craft Time with Yaya, and we are doing this as a project book where we're just going to go from the beginning and move our way through the book. So this was my page, and let's see if I remember what I used. So I used alcohol as my base for everything. I did use alcohol for the blue, and then I went in with some white ink and a cloud stencil and added in the little cloud silhouettes in the background. So that was fun, and this is going to be October's page. I will pop up Yaya's page, and very similar color palettes. I mean, we both went kind of traditional with our fox colors. I think she did a great job. Thank you again for getting me this book and for make it into a project book with you. Next is the Zen line. And I did a couple pages. And this one, did this page with a maroon colored fine line pen. And then I did this page, which it had some really, really fine details, and my eyes were having a hard time with it. But I had to use my smallest micron pen. I think it was the 005. Yeah, the 005 is what I had to use in order to get into all of those small spaces. Is that it? Yep. But I enjoyed playing in that. All right, next up is Petit Poupées, color by number. I did this page. This was a buddy color with Corey on Instagram. We are working almost every month. We pick a page in this book to work through. So I love the colors. Turned out very bright and pretty. And I'm not sure what her name is. I know she is from Wreck-It Ralph. At least I'm pretty sure she's from Wreck-It Ralph. Like Phoebe, is that her name? Something like that? I don't know. But there's another completed page in that book. Up next is my Disney portraits. And I did two. Oh, no, just one in this book. And I did Shere Khan. Actually, I think this is the buddy color book with Corey. Yeah. And so here is my page. Yeah, on all of these, it's just my acrylic markers. 95% of the time it's my guangna, but I also have the Linguo Grasp, Just Art, so whatever one I need to find the perfect color, that's what I use, but most of it is the guangna. All right, and in Petit Poupées, just the regular book, I completed this page with Merida, and I based it with alcohol marker, and then I went over top with my Brute Funer pencils. And I did look up an image on Pinterest to kind of help me with where my highlights and stuff need to go. I was really having a hard time with the bears because they're so dark, and so yeah, adding the white colored pencil and stuff and blending it out really kind of helped their features pop out a little bit more. But I'm really proud of this one. I think it turned out pretty cute. Next, in Lulu's House of Wonder, this was a buddy color with the lovely Chelsea. And we did this page. Let's see, what did I do here? I based with alcohol marker, used my Brute Funers for shading, and then I also used some of my acrylic paint pen for her dress. I blacked out the background here because there were mushrooms on there, and there were mushrooms on her dress, and I just didn't think it went well with the theme that I was doing. Like I couldn't in my brain figure out how to work the mushrooms in with my palette and everything, so I just blacked it out and then added some Dollar General nail stickers that glow in the dark. So there's little spiders and spider webs that I added in there. And so, yeah, this was this my first page in here? No. It's not my first page. I did the bathtub page. Yeah. So that was from last month. And then this is September. And then I'll be doing this page for October. Yeah. I thought it turned out really cute. Really happy with it. Okay, so I didn't leave a spot in the original video to talk to you about Chelsea's beautiful picture. So here is her beautiful coloring of the Lululemon page. I absolutely adore how she used different colors in like different aspects of her page. Like her leaves are orange and black. I would never think to do that. Her frog is orange and yellow. Just so adorable. I love how she incorporated her colors in the image, and I think it's just absolutely adorable. Thank you very much, Chelsea. All right, next up is 120 Mandala coloring book. And this was just because I wanted to play around with some of my lingual pens. So I just grabbed one of my packs of effects and used the colors that were in that pack and just went for it. This book, I have a couple mandala books, and this one is just where I'm using it to play in it, and the other one I was using it for Meg's Coloring Corner for her monthly prompts for color your mandala, and then she would put up like a character, and then you would have to do your mandala with the colors of that princess or character. And so now that Meg is back, she will be restarting that, and so I'm excited to start getting some pages in that other mandala book that I have dedicated to those. All right, color by number, flowers and mandalas. I think I did a couple pages in this. And I just use my Crayola Super Tips in this. I really, really enjoy how they work on this paper, and I can never just stop at one. So, I mean, all of the color palette in here is just, yeah, gorgeous. Just bright and fun and cheerful. And then this one, I think this was it. Yeah. So that is that. Let's look here. Moonlight Magic, another mandala type book. I think I did this one, yeah, September 1st. So this was a long time ago. And all I used was my Languo Gold. My Languo Gold gel pen. So that was it, just lots and lots of dots. Next is Shooting Star by Maria Troll. And I did go through, and in this book I put gold on all of the stars, even on this section. So all the little stars are gold. And then this was what I did with the page. And let me grab my tracker so I can tell you what I use on this. I'm pretty sure I used my Super Tips to base the tree, the grass, and then for the background, let me see what I used. Oh, right here. I used, it says water-based markers, then I used crayons, and then the Languo marker for everything else, and some acrylic pen. Yeah, Languo pen for around all the leaves, and I covered up all the line work. And yeah, I thought it turned out pretty cute. Oh, my Crayola. I used Crayola colored pencils for some of the shading on the bunny rabbits. And that's going to bug me. I wish I remembered. I know that I did this one like in the beginning of September, so I need to take better notes on what I used. But I was pretty happy with how it turned out. Kind of a galaxy type night sky. And I think this was the first page that I did in this book. So this was one of my untouched books that I got a page done in. I decided to count this as a completed page because I'm not sure that I'm going to change it, but I may go back and add something different. So, Fairy Tales and Folklore by Amelia Lederhall-Oberg. I did, this is keeping track of the colors I was using. I did this page, the title page, and I tried to use colors from the cover. And since there's no shading or anything like that in the cover, I didn't feel the need to duplicate that on here. But I used my Crayola Super Tips. I used a blue acrylic pen for the background and my gold Linguo gel pen for some of the accents. And I tried to follow wherever the gold was on certain elements on here, but then I also went through and added some where I just wanted it to be. So that was an untouched book, so I'm happy I finally got my hands on that. And alrighty, Worlds of Wonder. I finished this page. And so for this page, I used my Crayola Super Tips. Again, they were very well used this month, or sorry, in September. And my Brute Funer colored pencils for some highlights. Gold is my Languo gold gel pen. And for the background, I had an inspiration image of some clouds that I wanted to do, and it was like a deep purple into a blue into a pink, and it didn't really work out the way I wanted it to, but this is good enough. And what I did was I laid down a pretty heavy layer of my colored pencils, and then I went over it, and erased as much of it that I could to give it a more soft look. But yes, oh, and I used some of my silver Languo for the little lanterns. So that was an untouched book. Next up, this was from a review that I did for Fun Levy that is on my channel. And I did these pages in August, but I didn't get to share them with you because I hadn't completed the review. So here's this page. I used alcohol marker and Languo, yes, on this page. And then on this page, I used some of my watercolors. And this book actually held up really well to the water that I put on here. So there was watercolor from a pan from my Winsor & Newton Cotman watercolor set. And then I also, I also used some of the Languo gel pen and on the gold, and I just put a dot down and then used my water brush and moved it out, and this paper worked really well. So there were those. We're about halfway done through my pile. All right, the villains, color by number. This was another one for the Disney Buddy Color group, and I forgot what her name, Isu? I don't remember. I watched the movie for the first time this month because of these prompts, and I can't remember her name, but it was a cute movie. I was surprised that I had never seen it before, but this was just done with alcohol marker, just some of my cheapo Temu alcohol markers that I'm trying to get through. And I put, her skin was way too dark, and so I went over it and over and over it with my colorless blender to kind of tone it down, and so that's why her skin looks like blotchy and stuff. But there's that one. I did a spooky page, in this color by number book by Alexandra Francis. I had to. It was just calling to me. I couldn't help it. So for this book, it gives you the colors for the numbers, and then you go through, well, I went through, I didn't make up my own palette, but I just went through all of my Ohuhu markers, and I found the colors that I wanted to use, and I put them up here, but I also put them on a separate piece of paper so I don't have to flip back and forth every time I'm doing a page. So this is what I did. So this was my Ohuhu markers, and I went through and just used a darker shade to go around all of the different areas. So yeah, super cute. I love all of the bright colors that she put into this book. It's going to be really fun to play around with this month. So I'm hoping to get a couple more pages done for October in here. All right, put that in. I did a page in Ella by A.J. Quinnell, and I just did the first page. And this, again, was done with alcohol marker, and I went through and added a darker shade to the outside areas of each little section. And I love all the colors in here too. I would never add this type of color to a page like this. Just my brain wouldn't think to do it. So this was a lot of fun. And the paper is really, really great. I enjoy it. Oh, that was an untouched book too. Okay. Wildflower Folk. This was kind of an intimidating book to start in because I've never really done portraits or hair. It's just not something that I'm super comfortable or familiar with. So be kind when you see this. But here's the page that I did. And I based with some of my Ohuhu alcohol markers, and then I went through with, again, my Brute Funers and added some shadows and things. I mean, the way that she illustrates these books, it makes it look like I know what I'm doing, and I really don't. But yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. There's some things that I could do better next time, but I'm not going to beat myself up about it. So there it is. I really love the sunflowers. So here's that. All right, let's move into some Morgan O'Brien. I went a little crazy with Morgan O'Brien last month. Okay, and Annie Day, an Autumn Vibes coloring book. The lovely Chelsea on Instagram and I did this as a buddy page. I downloaded this a couple months ago because I knew I wanted all of Morgan O'Brien's like seasonal books, and so I got it and I was scrolling through the PDF and I messaged Chelsea some screenshots of a few pages, and I was just like, you have to get this book. It's going to be too much fun. So I enabled her and she bought the book, and this was the page that we picked to do for September. Yes. I think it turned out super cute. Oh, and I'll post Chelsea's up. I love that she actually made her trees in the back look like fall. I don't know why I didn't think to do that, but it just didn't even cross my mind to make my trees look like they were fall leaves. But yeah, she did a great job. I love your page, Chelsea. Thank you. All right, and then in Annie Day, a soft living coloring book. This one was done for the AC Annie Day hashtag that Amanda Colors does every month. And so this is the page. And I used alcohol marker, and then I went through with some white acrylic pen for some of my extra bubble work. And then I went in and added some texture onto the rug with some different blue colored acrylic pens. And I took out all the black line work on the picture because I wanted it to look more like a painting. So I went through with acrylic pen there also. And for the flowers, oh gosh, I don't remember what I used, but it's a very, very like translucent color. I think it's one of my like running out white acrylic pens. I think it's this because it has a bullet nib, and I think I went through because it wasn't super opaque because it's running out, and did the wallpaper. So there's that. All right, Matchstick Mouse, a springtime coloring book. This was also a buddy color with Chelsea. And it's the cute little matchstick. Just, let me see if I can get this folded over better. Oh, sorry guys. There we go. Okay, so it's matchstick, sitting down, just looking out the window. I tried to do some lighting effect where you'd see the yellow hitting her toes and her tummy and certain parts of the pillows. I don't think I did it great, but that's all right. I still think it turned out cute. And I'll put up Chelsea's also. Hers, as always, super duper cute. Thank you, Chelsea. All right, Matchstick Mouse Pumpkin Party. This was a page that I just wanted to do for me because, again, I bought all of these books because I wanted to color in them. So here's the page that I picked. And I used alcohol marker, acrylic pen for the white and the gold. And that was it. And again, I tried to do a lighting effect on this one too, where the yellow is from the moon hitting certain spots on the bird and matchstick. So, and on the trees. But I'm happy with that page. And this is one of the only matchstick pages where she doesn't have a yellow hat on. And yeah, there was just too much yellow everywhere else. So the complementary color to yellow is purple, so I decided to do purple. Next, in Matchstick Halloween, I didn't want to do a super duper Halloween-y page quite yet in September, so I did this one where she's just flying on a broomstick. Again, just alcohol marker and a white acrylic pen, and I added a little bit of like a shimmer pen to her hat to make it a little sparkly. But this one was super fast and easy. I know lots of people don't like the black backgrounds on some of Morgan's older books. I love it because it just really helps complete the page, and for Halloween I think it's perfect, but it makes for a really quick coloring page for sure. All right, and then Matchstick an autumn coloring book. I did this page, and again I was trying with the lighting. I was really trying to work on that skill with the majority of these matchstick pages, but this page actually didn't have matchstick in it, so I thought that was a little unique. I don't know that I've seen many books without matchstick in it, but I just imagine matchstick is hanging out in one of the houses taking a nap. But again, just alcohol marker and white acrylic pen for the outlining on the stars. Okay guys, down to the last 4. Stitch, color by number. I am doing this book in order because it is printed in order of the way that the movie goes. So I did this page with Jumba and Stitch. And I make a copy of the color key because in this book it's back here, and I move my page around too much to be able to like keep it like this and color. So I made a copy of it, and now I'm just marking down the pens, or sorry, not the pens, the markers that I use for each color throughout the pages. And that way when I come across that, I don't have to think too much about what colors I need to use. So there is that page. All right, mystery colors. I did this page, and this was for the hashtag Wild Year of Color by Jamie, and I used my acrylic paint pens on this one. It was a lot of fun. I think it's the first time that I've used my acrylic paint pens in this book. But oh, so I didn't mention, the prompt for A Wild Year of Color was wolf for September, and it is bat for October. So I was able to find a wolf in this book. Okay, last 2. I did first page in my Care Bear book, and I picked this page. Now, I love the colors, but I will say I got a little bored doing this page. And I guess personally, because there are so many areas that are just big, I feel like this would have been better formatted in one of the square sizes, just because it has such a limited color palette and the pages aren't super detailed. There's a lot of just big spaces of color. Yeah, I think for me personally, I think I would have liked it a little bit more if it was smaller, but yeah. There's a page in here that I want to do for October, and I think it's that page where she's sitting on the little jack-o'-lantern. But there that is. And I did use my gold languo gel pen to go around all of the stars for just a little bit of added shimmer on the Care Bear page. Okay, last but not least, my Vitro 2. I was really excited to work in this book. And I did this page for the Disney Buddy Color group for my Wally page. And this page is also Wally, but I didn't get a chance to finish it. But here it is. I think it turned out super cute. And again, like I mentioned in my flip through, I love that they include the black lines for everything, because the previous Vitro one did not have that. So there it is. Thought it was super cute. All right, guys, that was a long one. So that is it for my completed pages for September. Let me know what your favorite image was. I think I really liked my Lulu Mayo page. So that was probably that, and my Wildflower Folk. I was happy with how that turned out. So yeah, those were probably my top 2 favorites. But all right, that is it, and I will be back soon with another video. I want to share with y'all, I want to do a video where I kind of walk through the basics of doing color by numbers. I had I've had a couple people reach out to me and asked if I would do that. So I'm going to do a like step-by-step with some tricks that I use by doing these, and hopefully that'll be helpful to some other people. But all right, that is it again for like the fourth time. Alrighty, until next time. Bye-bye.